I have to go through this very, very quick, y'all. So this is going to be quick because I got to go through it quick. So I'm really not going to, I don't have time to wait on you all to load up. I should have woke up earlier and I apologize. Did I say hello? Hello, hello, hello. Happy hump day. Happy hump day. So I'm going to go through this real quick because I have to go to work. So we got to do it quick. All right. So I have confirmed that I am live. Okay. Have confirmed. Please hit the like button as you come in. And again, I won't be able to see the chat because I'm going to be reading my notes, and it's hard to go back and forth and stay on task and not get mixed up. And some of y'all tell me, y'all will say, you don't know what you're talking about. Y'all know how y'all do. So let me go ahead and get started and not ramble. Again, happy hump day. I hope that everybody is doing well today. And I apologize in advance for any notifications, sounds that may come through. Okay. All right. So as most of you know, yesterday the buzz was that Tim Norman got his hips up on that stand and testified. So yesterday, after a brief delay in proceedings, Tuesday morning, the man accused of plotting to have his own nephew taken out for an insurance payout took the stand in his own defense. James Timothy, well known as and otherwise known as Tim Norman, denied any involvement in the 2016 taking out of his nephew, Andre Montgomery Jr., his only brothers, not his brother that passed away years ago, his brother's son. So former reality TV star Tim Norman, 43, took the center stage at his own trial for hire of, y'all know what he did, words that YouTube don't really want you to say. Norman was the final witness called by his own defense on the morning of the 6th day of trial. And basically they started out with, did you have anything to do with the passing of Andre Montgomery? This was asked by his trial attorney, Michael Leonard. Now, Michael Leonard, we've been hearing a lot about this trial attorney. Who is Michael Leonard? Mike is believed to be the only presently practicing attorney or lawyer who has obtained 7 or more different not guilty jury verdicts in a federal criminal jury trial in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Chicago. And so just wanted to give a good idea of who Michael Leonard is that we keep hearing about. He is a trial lawyer. He's very good at what he do. He's nationally recognized as a trial lawyer who has successfully tried jury verdicts. I hope y'all can hear me. A wide range of cases in a federal and state courts across the country. And just a little bit of more like a bonus information. He was also at one point the attorney for R. Kelly, but he resigned. Reports that attorney have filed to leave to withdraw from the case. He declined further comments. So he was also the attorney in the R. Kelly case, but he resigned, and then he didn't further comment on why he resigned. So maybe some of y'all know why he did resign. So again, back to the case. The first question was, did you have anything to do with the passing of Andre Montgomery? And Tim Norman answered, no, sir. Norman claimed he didn't know who took his nephew's life until the summer of 2022 when the trigger man pleaded guilty. Y'all know the trigger man was Trival Anthony Hill. So he said he found out when we found out who it was. And as y'all know, Tim Norman is the son of Robert Montgomery. And Robert Montgomery founded Sweetie Pie's restaurants in 1996. So Norman was the co-owner of some of the restaurants by 2015 and 2016. On the stand, Tim Norman recalled his upbringing and working for Sweetie Pies. He had been the manager since 2010, working between 15 to 16 hours a day, according to him. The show began filming around 2011 when the show premiered on television. Tim Norman became manager at the Mangrove location on Manchester Avenue in Tower Grove. So a little bit more information. Tim was the person who wrote the scripts. He was the creator of this show. He was very involved with another producer who we're going to learn about towards the end of this video, who also testified yesterday. So he was very involved in the becoming or the creation of this show. Norman estimated that he made at least $55,000 in revenue each week from the restaurant, and this is all according to his testimony yesterday when he was testifying, when defense was in charge, asking him questions. So he made $55,000 in revenue each week from the restaurant, store, merchandise, and ATMs that he operated. Andre Montgomery moved to St. Louis from Texas to finish high school. He lived with his grandmother at the time, according to Tim Norman in his testimony. Tim Norman told the court that he tried writing Andre into the show as much as possible and mentored him. After he graduated from high school, Andre moved back to Texas. However, Andre came back to St. Louis a half a year later. Tim Norman said that Andre Montgomery Jr. had issues in Texas and felt it would be better for him to be in St. Louis. Andre moved back in September 2014. Norman set him up in an apartment in his same building, just a couple of floors above him. And Tim Norman testified that he paid for the apartment. In addition, Tim Norman said that he pulled strings and paid for Andre to attend Nelly's music producer school, the Extreme Institute, which is on the screen there that you can read all about what Nelly's school, Extreme Institute, was about. He provided Andre with transportation to and from school and let him use his own vehicles at times. So that was all the information about the school. It's also said that Norman gave Andre a daily allowance. I heard it was around $100 daily allowance. And Andre also worked at Sweetie Pie's at different locations. I think he worked mostly at Upper Crust, but y'all can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. Going through this very quickly because I got to get through this video, y'all. I apologize if I'm moving too fast. So next he testified about how he ended up contacting Wiley, who we know as Wiley, but his last name is Yagnan. He was the producer for Nelly, one of Nelly's albums, and then he went on to be an agent. He also sold T-shirts, I think, some type of printing company. So Norman contacted his insurance agent Wiley to acquire a policy for Andre. According to Norman, Yagnan met with Andre on October 7th, 2014 to ask young man questions for insurance application. Norman understood that he would be the owner of the policy, and that he would be responsible for paying the premiums. He said he didn't want Andre to know he could pull money out of the policy for personal use. So it's not unusual. They did ask questions about this, but it's not unusual for the person who's taking out the policy to also be the owner of the policy if they're paying the premium, so that they can control the cash value, changes in beneficiary, changes in ownership. So they'll be able to call the insurance company and have rights and authority to speak for the policy. So since Tim was the owner and not Andre couldn't call and get information without Tim's permission. Andre couldn't call and pull money out the policy without his permission. Andre couldn't call, and y'all know people do loans against their insurance policy, right? He couldn't do a loan against the insurance policy. He couldn't decrease it. He couldn't make any changes. He had no authority. Tim was owner, premium payer, and beneficiary. In spring 2015, Andre stopped going to work and dropped out at Extreme Institute. Norman said that Andre moved out of the apartment Norman had been paying for in mid-2015. Norman said the family cut Andre off financially at this point. By June 2015, Norman moved to Los Angeles to oversee a new Sweetie Pie's restaurant. The same month, burglars broke into Robbie Montgomery's home. More than $2,000 in cash and other valuables were stolen from the resident. Norman had jewelry, fur, computers, TV scripts, and recording equipment stolen from his mom's home, as well as music masters. He blamed Andre for the burglary, who left the area shortly after the crime. Norman said that his family hired a private detective, private investigator to locate Andre, and he told people that they were looking for him. From the stand, Norman said that he never told anyone that he wanted his nephew harmed or taken out. And I put on the screen here some of the pictures from the episode from Welcome to Sweetie Pies of when of that burglary. Yeah, I think that's the right word. We don't want to use robbed. She wasn't robbed. It was a break-in. That's the correct word for that. So after learning his nephew was back in town, Norman said he kept his normal schedule, and he kept his normal schedule. See, he was saying that he was in and out of town. That was kind of his defense. I was in and out of town all the time, and that's why I was there the day of Andre's passing. But y'all know that we saw in the text earlier in the case that he texted someone concerning the insurance that he was not in town. But now he's testifying that he was in town, and it was something that he did often. So after learning his nephew was back in town, Norman said he kept his normal schedule. He would fly back to St. Louis from California on March 13th or 14th to visit Sweetie Pie's location in town, to empty their safes on a Monday and make bank deposits. That was his reasoning for coming back and forth. Federal prosecutors alleged Norman arranged Montgomery's hit for $450,000 in insurance benefits, of which Norman was the sole beneficiary, which we just discussed. As y'all know, the gunman Travell Hill pleaded guilty in June 2022 in one count of murder for hire. Got me, I said it. And one count of conspiracy to commit a hit, and he'll be sentenced on September 20th. Norman testified that he did not order anyone to pay Hill $5,000. Y'all remember DJ Beats, which is Tim's friend, he said that he was given $5,000 to go over and to give to Travell Hill for this hit. At the time, the DJ, and his name is what? Daryl Howard. He said at the time he didn't know why he was giving the money, that Tim often did that. Gave him money, he went and did what Tim told him to do. Well, Tim said this is not true. He didn't give anybody no money. He also testified that he did not give Terica Ellis money for this hit. Terica Ellis, an exotic dancer in Memphis, Tennessee, was accused of setting Andre up and tipping off Norman and others about Andre's location prior to his hit. Ellis pleaded guilty in July 2022, one count of conspiracy, M for hire conspiracy. She'll be sentenced on October 26th, along with Yagnam Wiley. Norman said he met with Ellis Norman, yesterday when he testified, he said he met with Ellis at an East St. Louis strip club 2009. Months later, they began to have an on and off again sexual relationship. However, Norman testified that those encounters were not free. He said he paid Ellis from $200 to $300 each time when they met, and after the TV show started, the Welcome to Sweetie Pies, the cost of their encounters increased between $700 and $1,000, which matched her testimony that she was being paid $1,000 each meeting. Norman said that he routinely see women at the Chase Park Plaza Hotel in Central West End. He said he would use burner phones to keep his fiance at the time from finding out about his infidelities. So Tim was given excuses for why he had burner phones. One was they gave employees burner phones who was going to be on the show, or anybody who's going to be on the show. They gave them burner phones because they had to hit the speaker phone and show their phone on the show. The second excuse was for the burner phones was that he was this player who was messing around on his fiance, and he wanted them to use burner phones. So I guess so she wouldn't call him and confront him. Yagnan was indicted in August 2020 on one count conspiracy to commit wire fraud. He pleaded guilty July 2022. And while I'm going through this concerning the agent, y'all can read these. Hopefully y'all can see and read these text messages between Tim and Wiley concerning the policy. Prosecutors alleged Norman conspired with Yagnan to fraudulently obtain the life insurance policy on Montgomery. The policy, as y'all know, concerning the $2,000 base amount, another $2,000 accidental rider, which would also cover if he passed any way other than natural. So meaning foul play was involved, which it was, it would pay. And then another $50,000 in term life, 10-year term life. Norman said that he did not fill out the insurance application. Defense attorney Leonard implied that Wiley and an associate of his were the ones who filled out the forms and kept Norman in the dark. So Norman is claiming he don't know all about them lies, that they said that Andre Montgomery was married and Andre Montgomery made a lot of money, and all those lies that was put on this application or these series of applications to get one issued. Tim is saying he knew nothing about it, that it was the agent who did that. Everybody always blame the agent. If there is a age discrepancy on a policy, people always blame the agent. Like, well, my mom or my dad didn't even know that was put on there. The agent put that on there. But usually if you're taking out a policy, you're owner of a policy or the insured, you sign it. And you're signing saying that everything on there is correct. So whether you put it on there or the agent put it on there, you signed that information was correct. So even though Tim is saying, hey, I don't know what they put down. You didn't read it over. You didn't see what's put down. And then the text messages kind of say a little something different. In the text messages, he's saying that he don't want Andre to know about the policy. He doesn't, it's almost, this is what I believe concerning the policy. I believe Andre may have signed it, but Andre may have not really known what he was signing, especially if he went down to Sweetie Pie's to sign it. Tim paying for his apartment, Tim paying for that $30,000 tuition at that school. Tim might have said to him, here, sign this. This is for your school. Here, sign this. This is for your apartment. He may not have known what he signed. And I'm going to say something else. I'm going to tell y'all something else that we learned in the show, if y'all remember. In the show, do y'all recall that, no, it was Charles. It wasn't Andre. It was Charles who was having issues with reading. Y'all can drop down in the comments, let me know, because I can't remember whether it was Charles or Andre. But I think it was Charles. But anyway, again, Andre might have just came in. Feeling like, hey, my uncle's paying for this, my uncle's paying for that. He's giving me a car to drive. He's giving me an allowance. Hey, come in and sign this. Oh, okay, sign it. Not really knowing what he was signing. But we know the insurance policy was taken out. We knew that he was the owner and the beneficiary. We know that he tried to take out 4 others and this was the 5th one that finally got issued. So after testifying several hours, and just a little bit of information, y'all can read, as I'm talking about this other thing, y'all can read this additional information on Wiley Yagnan. This is his full name that's showing on the screen here. He was a St. Louis music producer turned life insurance agent, and he sold vintage T-shirts. His charge was conspiracy to commit wire fraud and mail fraud. He is out on bond, and his sentencing is October 26th. And that's a picture of Wiley Yagnan. And on this, I screenshotted this because I was wondering which, he produced one of Nelly's albums, but he also produced and wrote one of the songs, and I can't remember the song, but he did produce and write one of the songs. Okay, so after testifying for several hours, Normal cross-examination was brief. About 10 minutes, prosecutors pointed out that American Express had won a debt judgment against Norman in September 2015 for over $200,000. They also inquired about the burner phones. So the defense was trying to show that, Tim had money, he could afford all this stuff, he didn't need this mural little $450,000 policy. So the prosecution in cross-examination pointed out, and here's the thing, this is why it was stupid for him to testify. Had not he testified, some of the stuff that the prosecution, the government was able to get in yesterday, it wouldn't have been permissible. But because he got up there and was testifying, now we can get in that you had debt. You was kicked out of an apartment. You was in money problems. You had money issues. So the first thing they pointed out was that he had this American Express judgment against him for over $200,000. Earlier Tuesday, Melody Calvert, she was an executive producer on Welcome to Sweetie Fives, testified that cast members were required to wear wireless mics while taping the episode of the show. She also said that the cast was told that their phones must be on speaker while using them on TV. Cameras would record the conversations. However, Calvert told the court some in the cast would occasionally use prepaid phones for personal conversations away from the cameras. Again, they're trying to give a defense. This lady testified for the defense, and showing on the screens is some of the things that she was a producer of. She produced 26 shows, but this is just some of the shows that you may be familiar with that she was a producer of. They said that she got emotional on the stand when she was talking about Tim and Andre's relationship. Her testimony was obviously in favor of Tim in the defense. The prosecution did not do any cross-examination of this lady. In a live last night, when I was in Randomness for Avails live last night, I said, I made the comment, is she working on getting the rights to the movie for this? She's a producer. Allegedly. It was a question, my opinion. Don't be trying to sue me. Take my cruise money. Anyway, so Calvert told the court some of the cast members would occasionally use prepaid phones for personal conversations away from the cameras. But the prosecutor asked Norman why he give Terica Ellis a prepaid phone if she wasn't a cast member on the show. And that's when he came up with this infidelity. I had a fiance at the time. I didn't want her to know I was messing around, so I had a lot of burner phones, and I gave my women's a lot of burner phones. Those were his excuse. Okay, so just to sum up some of what I was saying real quick. He said that he paid Ellis only $1,000 and $2,000 for her to open a boutique in Memphis. He acknowledged he asked Ellis to help him find Montgomery, but never paid her to do so. Now, y'all know that Terica Ellis, she testified that he gave her $5,000 and then another $5,000 to help him find his nephew, Andre Montgomery. So they have conflicting stories here. Norman testified that he connected Ellis and Hill. So Tim Norman was the one who introduced Terica Ellis to Travell Hill to find Montgomery because he wanted to get back his stolen items from Miss Robbie Montgomery's home. He said he never paid Hill to take out a hit on his nephew and didn't know he was the shooter for years after his nephew's passing. Robert Montgomery, primary figure on Welcome to Sweetie Pies, attended court Monday and Tuesday during her son's defense, but declined to comment on the case. When reporters were trying to get comments or an interview, she declined. The defense originally intended to call her as a characteristic witness, but the prosecutors successfully opposed her testimony as not relevant to the case. So again, just going back over what I said, the defense attorney Michael Leonard asked how much money Norman made. How much more money Norman made from the show and working at the restaurant. He said he made $5,000 every 2 weeks. He claims he got income from restaurant and that he became an owner of one location, making $50,000 on a weekly basis. He also said that he received money from merchandise for about $5,000 a week, and he took home about $1,500 weekly in these ATMs that he owned. On the stand, Norman said that he didn't understand the insurance lingo. My daughter's rushing me. But the prosecutors pointed out that he filed his own life insurance application before. On the application, he asked if he was previously arrested, and he wrote no. But that was a lie, wasn't it? That's what prosecutors said. That was a lie, wasn't it? And Norman admitted it was. So he admitted to the lie, that he wrote no on the insurance application. Prosecutors also noted in September 2015, American Express put a judgment that we talked about, $215,821. A judgment gives the creditors the right to use additional collection methods. Norman did not deny this. He didn't deny this. Beyond, the prosecutor asked if he ever paid $10,000 to Ellis. He said no. The prosecutor further asked him about Daryl Howard, DJ Beats, and the $5,000. Because DJ Beats went into a cooperation agreement with the government in 2020. On the stand, Howard said that his friend Norman in 2011 asked him to retrieve $5,000 from his room in the Chase Plaza Motel to deliver to Hill. This was after his nephew was shot. 803 phone record shows Ellis called Norman. Ellis recalled that what she said during the phone call. What the F happened? I heard gunshots, she told the jury. He said, don't worry about it. Get on the highway and go home. Don't talk to anyone. Delete your Instagram account. She claims he told him to delete the Instagram account and get rid of the burner phones. Norman denied ever saying that he claimed he didn't know his nephew was taken out at that moment. But y'all remember Norman, his mother called him. He didn't answer the phone, but then he must have talked to her, because then he called their bodyguard or the security for the thing, and told for the restaurants, and told the security guard to pick up his mama and take her down to the police department. Meanwhile, he jumped on the plane and went back to California. What's next? As of Tuesday afternoon, both sides rested. Their cases and closing arguments and instructions for the jury will take place Wednesday morning. Okay, a lot of you are asking me, where did I get my information from, or where do I get my information from? I go to Twitter. I look up news. I follow news articles, and I look up Twitter. And these are two of the people that I follow on Twitter that gives, like, I don't know whether they run out of the courtroom, whether they take turns, or how they do it, but they give almost up to the hour information. These two ladies that you're showing on your screen. Also, yesterday I got some information from She Royal B. She Royal B was the first one that came on and said, hey, Tim is on he is up on the stand testifying. Now, I did report that, but what he said on the stand, I told y'all to go over to her video to find out. She gives good information. She gets straight to the point. I like her. Also, today's celebrity news. Today's celebrity news is in the courtroom. She don't give you a whole lot of rumors or gossip or fluff. She gets straight to the point and give you the information. So check her out. She is in the courtroom along with Randomness of Veil. Getting first hand. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and check out Randomness of Veil. Randomness of Veil, he is giving, his videos are long, but they're worth it because he is entertaining. I just say it that way. He is entertaining. Okay, so who is the judge on this case? The judge on this case is federal judge of the United States District Court of the Eastern District of Missouri. His name is John A. Ross. He was nominated by President Barack Obama in December of 2010. Prior to becoming a federal judge, Ross was a circuit judge in the court of Missouri. And he is rushing this case. He is no nonsense. He is very, very concerned about the jury's time and all of that. and that is Judge A. Ross. So again, that is day 6. Tim Norman took the stand. I don't know whether that was good or bad. I don't know whether that was good or bad, because remember, these people that's in the jury, 9 men, 8 white, 1, my daughter's gonna get me, 1 not, 1 like Asian, and then 6 women, same, 5 white, 1 Asian. So, was he able to convince this jury that he's innocent? He was just trying to help his nephew, and everybody's lying on him because they don't know him. They don't know Sweetie Pies. They're not familiar. Or did the conflicting testimony, when it seemed like he wasn't telling the truth because it was conflicting with some other things, will the jury be convinced? Y'all, today will be closing arguments, and we shall see. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm sorry I wasn't able to say hello to y'all. Have a great Wednesday, hump day. This is Miss Cruiser. Please hit that like button. This is Miss Cruiser. Please like, share, and